Good morning, everyone. It's been a rough morning already. It's 8:15. I just got to the gym. I am running behind again, but last night I said in yesterday's video that I got home at 9 and I was headed to bed, and I knew I would be up for about another hour because I had to edit that video. And usually I try to go to bed around 10 o'clock. But anyway, I ended up not giving myself enough time to edit that video. I was up till 11, and so I get up at 5:30, and so that's 6.5 hours of sleep. But once I laid down last night, with everything, trying to start the business and getting back into the gym and my health, and I was just my brain was just super excited. I could not stop thinking about it, and so I ended up laying in bed till it was like 1:30 in the morning. And then at some point I got up around 3 to pee, and I had kind of the same problem. And I swear I had just fallen back asleep when my alarm went off at 5:30. And in fact, I was so tired when my alarm went off this morning, I was like, screw it. I'm going back to sleep. I need sleep. It's the best thing for my diabetes. And I shut my alarm off, and then right when my head hit the pillow again, I started thinking, like, is this discipline? Or is this just reacting to how I'm feeling right now? And so I got out of bed at 5:34. I was up. But I just didn't feel good. I said the number one thing for lowering your blood sugar and help your body process stuff is sleep. And since I didn't really sleep last night, I checked my blood sugar this morning and it was insane. 206, which is another reason why I'm feeling exhausted. And because of the 206 and the high blood sugar, I have had an upset stomach all morning. I've been in and out of the bathroom. So I did do my journal and stuff. I'm gonna read that to you guys after the gym. I did get through my personal study, but usually my personal study takes me about an hour, and I just barely wrapped it up before coming to the gym because of all the breaks I had to take to use the restroom, which is probably TMI, but that's what really happened. And so I just pulled up to the gym. I'm excited today. Well, the reason I'm pausing is because it's supposed to be legs and ab day, but I really kind of just want to do some cardio because I'm just not feeling good. But I guess I can say the same question. Is that being disciplined, or is that just reacting to how I'm feeling? So I'm going to go in and do legs and abs. Might be a lighter workout because I really do have an upset stomach and it's ab day. And as a fat person, ab day is my least favorite day. I know most people say it's leg day. So for me, leg day is probably my favorite day. I mean, if you think about it, I'm hundreds of pounds overweight. My goal weight is to get to 165. I'm 298. And my heaviest weight at my very heaviest about 5 years ago was 360. So I'm literally trying to lose 200 pounds from my highest weight. But if you think about it, your legs carry all that weight. Guess what is my strongest muscle group and has some muscle defined? I remember clear back in high school when I would go to the gym with friends and they'd all be flexing their arms and you just can't even see any muscle there because it's all covered in fat. But my calves have always been great. And so I love leg day. But here's the thing with abs. I'm fat. So I have 100 pounds on my belly pulling on my abs. And as soon as they get sore, it is freaking miserable. I mean, when I laugh, they hurt. When I walk, they hurt. When I talk, they hurt. If I put a plate on my belly, it hurts. I freaking hate ab day. And like sit-ups are probably my least favorite exercise on the planet because of that. I mean, it's not just sitting up. I'm sitting up with a giant belly. It's painful. And so that's actually why I've combined legs and abs. It's my favorite day with my least favorite day combined. But we're going to go get that in and get back on track today. It's a beautiful day to have a beautiful day, and let's go get it. I can't believe I forgot. I made yesterday's video, and the day before I promised I'd end every video shirtless, and I forgot to do the shirtless thing. And so, anyway, we're doing that right now. So even though it's in the middle of today and today's video, no excuses. We're going to show ourselves shirtless. Here's what I currently look like as of today. Get a little closer. Zoom in on them titties. But anyway, this is me. Hopefully my ass ain't hanging out. So it's about 10:15 right now. I got that workout in the gym. I feel Monday's chest workout and a little bit of yesterday's bicep workout. But anyway, I want to go over what I wrote down in my journal and in my personal study this morning. So I started with the Bible again. I read Matthew's chapter 7 and 8. And I put, what really stood out to me was when Jesus calmed the sea. So that's the story of when they go out onto the water and the waves get crazy and all the disciples are like, we're about to perish, and Jesus calms everything. And I said it stood out to me because we cannot always control the chaos happening around us. We need to remain calm and control what we can control, and that's how we will get success. And so that was my notes on my scripture study. For my personal study today, I kept reading Living with the Navy SEAL. I went over, so this book doesn't have chapters since David Goggins stays with Jesse Itzler for 31 days. Each chapter is a day. And so today I read day 1, and this is what I wrote down. It said, literally what I just explained. This book is listed in days and not chapters. Today was day 1 when SEAL shows up. SEAL teaches Jesse that training is a mind game. I need to remember that when it comes to my weight loss, which kind of goes into this morning. I did not want to get up. I did not sleep well. I've had an upset stomach. But at the end of the day, it's a mind game, and I'm pretty proud of myself that I still got up and got to the gym, even though I probably spent in between the times going in an hour in the bathroom. So anyway, proud of that. Anyway, one day they talk about in day 1 how he meets Jesse Itzler, how Jesse meets David Goggins, and how they met is basically Jesse Itzler did an ultra marathon with a team where it was a 24-hour race, and they were running as a team doing 20-minute like sprint times, and then they would switch out, and the goal was to do as many miles as they could in 24 hours. And Jesse sees David Goggins, who showed up, and he didn't have a team. He decided to run 100 miles by himself. And Jesse was really intrigued by him and reached out to him and wanted to get to know him and just learn from him. And that's when he invited him to come live with him for 31 days. So today was day 1, and he puts Jesse through some crazy workouts. So they said today in the book, he shows up at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and there was no hello, no how are you doing, let me show you around, because David's going to be living with Jesse. David was just like, hey, it's go time, let's go. And it was in, I believe he said November, in New York, and it was like 14 degrees outside. David Goggins grabs him and was like, let's go for a run. And no coat, no nothing, they just go out jogging in Central Park, and they end up doing 6 miles. And then when they get back, they go to the gym at Jesse's building, and David Goggins is like, hey, I want to get a baseline on your pull-ups, see how many pull-ups you can do. And Jesse hops up on there, and he gets 17 up, which for him, he said, I've never been able to do 17 pull-ups before in my life. I'm super proud of that. And then David Goggins was like, whoa, you're not done. Let's do more. Basically, David Goggins makes him just keep going until he hits 100. And Jesse says after he did the 17, he was so cooked, his biceps were tight, like he didn't think he could do one more. But Goggins made him do a walk around the gym once and then go do a pull-up. And then a walk around the gym and go do a pull-up. All the way up to 100. And I think that's something we need to think about, especially like today when I didn't want to go to the gym, is we are capable of so much more than we think we are. Jesse thought he was done at 17 and ended up getting 100 in that morning. Not all at once. I mean, he said it took about 90 minutes to get him done. But that's just kind of a cool story. And one day I want to be that mentally tough for business and for my weight loss. Anyway, into my gratitudes. Today I wrote down my relationship with my in-laws. We had a great dinner with them last night, and I'm just really thankful for them and for the beautiful daughter that they raised and how she's just an incredible person and my loving wife. And then this one I'm sure people will relate with. I love coffee, and so my gratitude number 2 for today is coffee. Number 3 is a place to call home. You know, I might be living in a camper trailer, but I have a nice warm place to rest my head at night. I have Wi-Fi in here, and I know there's people out there in the world that don't even have what I consider terrible or luxuries to others, and it really puts it into perspective, and I'm just truly grateful that Jen and I have a place we can come to and have our own space and call it home. Then the next one I wrote down is quality food to eat, because I get to choose every day if I'm going to eat crap or if I'm going to go eat good food. And I need to be better at realizing that the good food is like an option and almost like a luxury. There's places in the world where they don't have good food every day to eat. And so it's almost, in my mind, a little disrespectful. Now that I'm saying it, I'm thinking this as I'm saying it. It's a little disrespectful to, people that don't have food when I'm just eating crap all day and overeating. And so I'm actually really grateful that we have, farmers. We can go to the store and get good, healthy food. And I'm grateful for that. And then the last one I wrote down today is actually music. I believe music can really change our state and help us, succeed. Today I was burning out on the ab cruncher machine, but then Living on a Prayer popped on from Bon Jovi, and then I got in a little bit of a groove until I went to go throw up. Luckily I didn't throw up, but I definitely was dry heaving in the bathroom for a second. But I am just so grateful for music. I love being able to dance with my wife. I think music expresses emotions that sometimes words can't say. And then for my today I am... a lot of these are the same as yesterday, but I wrote down, today I am disciplined, today I am a closer, today I am loving, today I am helpful, today I am a great recruiter, because I need to focus on recruiting, today I am an entrepreneur, today I am a future athlete, today I'm focused, today I'm habit building, and today I am thankful. I think it's really important to stay gratitude, have an attitude of gratitude. And then once again, my vision, I want to inspire 1 million people to take action towards their dreams and leave the world a happier and better place. I'll achieve this by destroying my biggest demon of my weight while building Nick and I's company, Smart Living, into a national brand. I will document every step of the journey to show that you can come from nothing and still accomplish your dreams. Just like how I want to travel the world by boat, having wonderful experiences, seeing different cultures, spending time with loved ones, and maxing out my life. And then on today's to-do list, we have number 1 priority is recruiting, set interviews. We want to get that side-by-side comparison done this evening of the Hyla and the Ritello. Since I went over to my in-laws, I never trimmed my dog's nails, so that's on there again today. We need to make a social media post. Obviously, work on a long-form video. I hadn't put that on the to-do list, but since it's taking an hour or 2 hours to edit, I put that on my to-do list today just to keep in my mind, hey, I need to chunk out 2 hours to edit this YouTube video. Need to make a Facebook short, a reel of me working out, which is already done. I already have it posted for the day from my workout this morning. I need to keep working on that PowerPoint. I don't need it till Monday, but it's Wednesday and the days are ticking by. So I really need to sit down. Probably the last thing I do tonight before I go to bed is spend a good hour with my laptop and really plug that in. I want to pick up the trailer a little bit. It's since we live in such a small space, we come home, we set stuff down, and it just gets dirty super fast. So I need to pick that up. And then one thing we're doing that we did not do last time, so usually the way, I shouldn't say usually because we're still going to do all of these, but how Nick and I got leads in the past is we had them listed out. We would get like referrals is probably the best lead. We would run a lot of home shows, trade shows, fairs, any event where we could go and generate leads that way. We would do what's it called? We'd do, it's like, the site is called Survey Monkey, but basically we'd have a survey and then a post that customers, after they bought a Hyla or saw a demo, they could post on their Facebook and say, I guess it directed people to the survey, and then people could fill out that survey, and those became a lead. And then obviously door-to-door surveys and then door-to-door knocking in are the main ways we're doing things. But one thing we're going to try this time is we want to partner with social media influencers across the country, specifically right now in Des Moines. But as we grow, we'll open it up. But we want to look for people that can show and demonstrate our products and generate leads for us that way, and then pay them a commission. And I need to start planning that out and figuring out how that's going to go. And so, yeah, that's kind of my journal today and what I've got going on. Another change, even though I've already been to the gym, my buddy, best friend Jason hit me up, and he asked if I want to go out shooting for a little bit and then go have a little bit of fun shooting out in the desert for a little bit. That sounds like a fantastic time. So totally down with that. In fact, I think he's going to be here around 11:30.
All right, Bosco, stay right here. Stay. 40 Smith & Wesson. How many rounds you got?
3.
Let's see. Tight group. Stay, Bosco. All right, you done?
Yep, I missed all of them.
No way.
Yep, there's not one out there.
Are you serious?
Yep.
No way. Dude, how are you even missing the first one? You don't understand how to aim, I think.
I think
we have
it's
to go
more
over
I
it.
forgot my glasses.
What? Oh, you can't see?
I can see it, but not very well. It's a little
Let's see,
blurry.
where are
Yeah,
your
baby.
shots? We got 1, 2, and then one down here.
Way down there.
3. That one's pretty crazy. That one right there is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
These are tight though.
At least I didn't miss the paper on them like the last time.
No, dude, we're gonna get the groups tighter before we leave here.
Yep.
We got a lot of bolts in there. We're gonna fix it right now.
I love having a back button.
All right, bro, nice and steady. Bosco, come on over here. Come here. Come here, buddy. Get over here. Get out of the way. Get over here. Over here.
All right.
All right, dude, nice and steady. Tight groups. Same exact shot every time. Even if you're off, at least have all of them be equally off.
Okay.
Consistency. Damn, that freaking hit me. Can we see that? Bosco.
Okay. That's all of them.
All right, let's go check.
Please hit the board. At least
How you feeling?
Nervous?
Let's
No,
see.
dude.
Here's one on the edge of the board. At least you're on the white
On
somewhere.
the whiteboard.
This right here. That's new.
Oh,
They
yeah?
would have had it marked, so this somewhat close to each other. Good job on that. Maybe the third one is off paper, or that could be double for a super duper tight group, but maybe not.
Let's just say it's off the paper.
That's unlikely. What do you think is going on?
I don't know, dude.
Because you're not even getting to that paper. Are you aiming small? You're aiming.
You know
you're
what
getting your
helped
sight
on
right
the
over
last
this?
shot? Because I know it's this one. Is I took a deep breath in right before I pulled the trigger and slowly breathed out while I pulled. So I was more relaxed.
Oh, you need to be more relaxed at the end of a breath.
Yeah.
At the pull of it.
I guess I'm thinking too much about the recoil and it's snapping back.
Yeah, you're thinking about the recoil because you're
bracing too hard.
flinching.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't flinch. You gotta, and you can pause in the
Yeah.
trigger. Just pause and wait. Another comfortable spot and finish the squeeze a little more.
Yeah.
All right, we'll try again.
Okay. We will get this.
You gotta at least have one inside the circle before we leave.
Yeah.
It's hot as fuck out here, so we better get it soon.
I know. Dude, I got sweat in places I don't want sweat.
Let me guess, your titties?
Damn, you knew. Bosco, come here.
Fair amount of speed. Oh, damn. Now bottom 3 with revolver. Oh, damn, that's not a good one. Got one in. Hey, look, I switched one with the revolver. 2. Is that me? Damn, I pointed down low. No.
One of those was me.
Oh, let's just say these ones were you. Mine were probably like
In the circle.
All right, how'd you do?
There's one.
Were you aiming? Which ones are you aiming at?
This one I was aiming at this one.
No way.
Yeah, this one I was aiming at this one.
Oh, what the?
And I don't know where
And
the
this
other
almost
one's
looks like 2 right there.
at. No, I think that one.
Oh yeah, you're right. 3.
Yep.
Oh, nice. That's a fucking good group.
Yeah.
Not a good group, but it's better than out here.
Yeah.
That's get on paper now.
You were right. I started looking a little different, and I think I'm aiming like this instead of like this.
All right, nice. Well, look, we got improvement. Let's get one solid where we know what you're aiming at.
Instead of focusing on the dot, I tried to make sure I could see this little metal piece in there too, so the gun was level.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice. So adjust it a little more. Let's see if you get locked in on that circle next.
Yep.
All right.
Whew. It's 5:30 in the morning. It's actually Thursday. This is still part of yesterday's video, but I want to talk a little bit about what happened yesterday. I'm not very proud of it. In fact, I'm pretty upset with myself. So after we went shooting, had a blast. I hopped back on recruiting, so I was able to set an interview before we went out shooting. And then when I came home, I worked for a little bit. Was able to set up a couple more, but I burned out yesterday. I know I said I didn't sleep and my sugar was high, but you know, last time Nick and I built Grand Valley Air, and when I was in my 20s, I've always been super fat, but I didn't have the health problems I do now, and man, this is tough. I just burn out, like physically, like I start getting brain fog because I'm so tired, and I burned out yesterday by like 3 o'clock. In fact, I had some friends call me right about then and say, hey, do you want to play some GTA with us? We've got about an hour. Do you want to hop on? And I should have stayed on recruiting, although I am glad that I got to spend some quality time with some friends. I do think that's important. But I played GTA, and I was tired through GTA, and after that, I never went back to work. I didn't work on the PowerPoint. I still had 4 or 5 hours to get stuff done, and I literally just went and laid on the couch and watched YouTube until about 6 o'clock, and then I started thinking about how I need to go and make healthy dinner. I have a couple pounds of shredded rotisserie chicken in the fridge. I had salad and baby carrots. That was supposed to be the plan, and while I was laying on the couch and exhausted and I didn't want to, honestly, just heat it up in the microwave, which how easy is that? My sister texted me and said that the family was going out to Chinese and asked if I wanted anything. And I told myself I wasn't going to eat out. I actually ate out twice yesterday, but talking about dinner, me and my wife talked and we're like, yeah, bring us some food. And so I went through their menu and I tried to get something healthier. I ended up getting pork and shrimp, and then I didn't eat like the chow mein, and I only had a couple forkfuls of rice. So I did get a lot of protein in, but honestly, that made me feel even worse because it was fried pork, and I feel so greasy and disgusting because I've only been eating clean and healthy food, and that affected my sleep. So now I'm coming into today extra tired, and I'm kind of frustrated with myself. And then yesterday, after shooting with Jason, I got back and I was supposed to have on my meal plan was a bunch of yogurt with raspberries. Raspberries help lower blood sugar, I don't understand how fruit works, how some of it is like terrible for me, and yet some of it actually helps. And so that's what I was supposed to eat yesterday. And when I got back, my mom had just gotten home, and my mom had weight loss surgery years ago. She went from about 300 pounds clear down to 100. The doctors actually yelled at her that she was too skinny. Um, and so she's put a little weight on. I think she's about 120, but due to that surgery, she can't eat very much, but she still thinks she can. So she ordered a foot-long sub from Papa Kelsey's, which is a pizza and sub shop here, and then she got a mini personal pizza, and she ate half that sub and one slice of that pizza, and so she always has leftovers when she goes out to eat. And I jokingly said, "Hey, Mom, what'd you bring me?" Because one thing she's done is she brings leftovers for me because she knows I'll eat them. And I've been really trying not to eat her stuff. In fact, the fridge is filled with leftovers because they go out to eat almost daily. Yesterday was twice in a day, which is pretty common for the way I grew up. And when she got home, she had half a ham sub and two slices of pizza. My dad had eaten one, and like I said, I jokingly said that, "What'd you bring me?" And she's like, "Oh, you can have this other half of a sub sandwich and this pizza." And I thought about it, and I was like, it's just one meal. I'm tired. I need to go focus on recruiting. Whatever the freak I told myself. Like, how hard it was simpler and easier to grab the yogurt out of the fridge. But I ended up eating half that sub, and I'm just so mad at myself because here I'm trying to lose, hundreds of pounds in a short amount of time. I'm trying to build a business, and yet on energy and effort level, Nick fucking kicked my ass yesterday. He ran 4 or 5 demos. He sold a Hyla. Day before he sold 2, and I've set like 4 interviews. I mean, I did do a lot on the Ritello and the new product. I did have some wins there, but honestly, that was Tuesday morning, and then a little bit of comparison yesterday, and I utterly failed. Like I said, back in my 20s, when we first built Grand Valley Air, I was always fat, but I always had energy. In fact, I'm known for always having energy, being able to lead a meeting and change people's states and get them high on motivation and not high on drugs, people. But I'm really good at that. But since my health has gotten bad, I've always been fat, but my health hasn't really been bad till right around when I hit 30. In fact, it was when Nick and I started having issues. One of the issues that I don't like to talk about is that's when I found out I was diabetic. I don't know if I can find the picture. I might throw it in here, I might not. But there's a giant picture that Jenna took of me laying in bed one day, and I have a giant diabetic sore the whole side of this titty. Terrible. And it's just, part of why we failed was because I believed we would fix it clear up till the end, but I would just burn out just like I feel today. And that was 3 years ago. I've had the opportunity over 3 years to lose the weight. I know what to do. I had the perfect meal plan yesterday. You guys saw when I post this video, you're going to see at the beginning I was crushing the first half of the day, and then I totally burned out. Like, I think the thing that's bugging me most and what I feel like is how much I let Nick down yesterday. We're partners, and he understands the health stuff. He knows this has been my struggle, but at the same time, goddamn, we're building a company, and not just a small business. First go around, we know what needs to happen every day, and I just bitched out. And then after I ate that Chinese last night, I didn't feel good. I was still exhausted, but I was so ashamed of myself that I just went to bed. I was in bed before, I think I went to bed at 7:45. I was in bed before 8 o'clock. And I'm just so frustrated. Now, the only person to blame is me. I will say, this morning I woke up. I mean, I don't know if you can see, I'm kind of holding back tears a little bit of disappointment in myself. Usually what I've done over the last 3 years, though, is when I get this way, this state lasts a couple days, and I don't care, and I binge eat and stuff. And this morning, so on Tuesdays and Thursdays, my wife has to get up at 3:30. She goes in at 4 a.m. And so I've actually been up since then. It's like almost 6 right now. But this morning I got up and I was just almost like, F it. I didn't get the video posted last night. I didn't stick to my diet. Like, maybe we start again Monday. Screw this. And then I went and played some video games this morning at 4 a.m. And right when my alarm went off at 5:30, I shut it off, and kind of like yesterday, except for it was sleeping, I was like, I don't even want to do today. I got a meeting I can recruit, but I'm just not feeling it today. And same question as I said earlier in this video is that discipline or reacting? And just because I screwed up in the afternoon and evening, well, let's leave it at those. Let's not drag this out a couple days. So I got up out of my gaming chair. Look, I can't even look at the camera straight on because I don't even like seeing myself in the, like, I am using the selfie camera, so I'm watching myself right now, and I don't even want to see myself. I'm like pretty pissed off at myself. But I did get up, I took a cold shower, and I thought, doesn't matter how you're feeling, we got to get this done. And so we're going to go through, and this is going to be in this video. I'm going to restart here. As soon as I'm done with this and get yesterday's posted, I will start recording, but I'm about to do my journaling and still forget yesterday, learn the lessons from yesterday, and move forward. But it's such a mental battle when you're fat. And you've been fat your whole life. Like I said, on the business stuff, I'm confident. I know what to do. I've done it before. I spent a decade struggling going door to door, learning everything I could about sales, about entrepreneurship, about personal development, and about leadership. And I don't understand why, for me, that stuff all makes sense. And it's exactly the same for weight loss, and yet I can't do it. See, I can't even hold back the tears. And I shouldn't say I can't, because that's such a limiting mindset, and that's so bad. Like, I can do it. I know. There are people that have done it. It proof's in the pudding. I've done it. I've lost 100 pounds. And yet, I just didn't do it. Dr. Manning is a performance psychologist. I don't even know what he's called, but he's a doctor at a university in Utah, and he's worked with like LeBron James. He's worked with like USA Olympics, and basically what he specializes in is how to get better performance. And the biggest thing he says is everybody focuses on the macro decisions, big decisions. But where life is won and where confidence comes from is those small decisions. And right now, like making a meal plan, that's a big decision. I get so proud of myself when I sit down and write that meal plan. But when the small decision showed up yesterday, I failed. And that's why I'm fat. And I'm just really disappointed. After I'm done crying this out for a second, I'm not going to let it define me. Sorry I'm rambling again. I know I need to get these videos a little shorter, but this is just what really, really happened. And so, anyway, we're not going to dwell on it. I'm going to have my pity party here for another couple seconds, and then it's not even 6 a.m. Let's win today and try to make today better than yesterday. And that's kind of the secret to success, is being a little bit better every day, but sometimes it just fucking sucks to go through. I mean, I will say over the last week, and even just yesterday, even though I feel like yesterday was a complete failure, I still set interviews, which was the number one goal. I didn't set nearly as many as I wanted because I didn't do the work for it, but I did get some set. I went to the gym even though I had a stomach issue yesterday and didn't want to and didn't sleep. I got that in. I went out shooting with Jason, and while he was taking down the target, although I should have helped him take down the target, I was half jogging. I don't jog very much because I do have a bad knee, and if I hurt that, then I'm out of working out for who knows how long. So I guess it was more of a speed walk, but I was walking back and forth between the target trying to get more steps in. And so I did have little wins, but how do I want to say this? Actually, There's a guy on YouTube, he has a channel, Obese to Beast, and he always says fitness is in the gym, weight loss is in the kitchen. And so I feel like I did pretty good on the fitness yesterday. In fact, my abs are killing me right now from being sore from the fitness. But on the weight loss, I failed. Being a good business partner yesterday, I failed. And I'm not going to let that happen 2 days in a row. Today, we're going to own it. We're going to move forward, and we're going to take our life back. But I don't just want to show you guys a highlight reel of the good stuff. There's bad, a lot of bad. Being in entrepreneurship is messy, and weight loss is apparently even messier. And so that's what happened yesterday, and we're just going to move on. Anyway, if you guys like content like this, it really does a lot if you either like a video or subscribe to the channel, or even if you don't want to hear what I have to say, if you just play it in the background, it does help it get spread out on YouTube to get more views. Because I do think there is some value, and I think there's some value in me being so vulnerable and showing this. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Yeah, let's make today better than yesterday.